Hello, welcome for this new video on the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. We will continue today with our series about bliss, awakening through experiences of bliss. And today we start with verse 71. Om ānande mahati prāpte dṛṣṭe bāndhave cirāt ānandam udgataṃ dhyātvā tallayas tanmanā bhavet. When one reaches a very great bliss, like if one gets very good news, or when one sees a parent, a friend, a relative after a long time, dhyātvā, one should contemplate, one should project one's attention ānandam udgataṃ, on that upsurge of bliss, of inner joy, tanmanā, and the one who has his attention on that, tallayo bhavet, will become absorbed into that. So when one sees a friend or a parent, relative, when one has been separated for a long time after a trip or something, or someone, one would think that he or she had disappeared, or maybe her life or his life threatened, or after an accident, something like this, one feels an upsurge of joy at seeing the sheer seeing of them, the sheer sight of them. Or when one reaches any great joy, like for instance finding one's key of the car that I thought I had lost, or something like that, or winning at the lottery, or any good news, there is an upsurge of joy. And if one plunges in that with full attention and completely relaxed at the same time, then one will become that bliss, and that bliss is divine bliss. There is no difference. Just the ordinary bliss is just the bliss that I don't recognize, that I don't pay enough attention to. But if I pay enough attention to it, I become it, and if I become it, I immerse myself completely, I bathe myself completely into it, and then it becomes divine bliss. It's the same bliss, divine or worldly. It's the same. The difference is recognizing or not recognizing, paying attention or being unaware. And the commentary by ānandam makes the connection with the famous verse from the Spandakarika. Atikruddhaha prahrishtova kim karomi iti va smrishan dhāvanvā yatparam gachet tatra spandaha pratishtitaha. So that state one reaches, one goes, when one is in extreme anger, or in extreme joy, or wondering what to do. Kinkaromi, what shall I do? Dhāvanvā, or running for one's life. Like you're some people who want to kill you run after you. You run for your life. That state that you reach then is the state of universal vibration, universal consciousness. Spandaha pratishtita, the stable, the immovable, or the state you reach when you sneeze. It's also in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So any joy, any good surprise, the feeling you have when you take in your arms someone you love, you know, you're attached to, that feeling of hugging someone. If you plunge in that feeling, if you just remember that feeling, you don't need to wait for the occasion, just to plunge in the memory of that joy is enough. Is the same, because we had seen the last time that according to the Pratyabhijna, the recognition philosophy of Kashmir Shaivism, memory is as powerful as direct perception. So it can work very well as well. 72 verse. Om jagdhipānakṛtollāsarasānandavijṛmbhaṇāt bhāvayed bharitāvasthāṃ mahānandas tato bhavet. So bhāvayed, one should realize, one should evoke, one should cultivate bharitāvasthāṃ, the state of fullness, Vijnana, that comes from the expansion, Vijnana, that comes from the expansion, Rasānanda, of the aesthetic delight, Kritollāsa, manifested, coming about, Jagdhipāna, through food and drink. So one should meditate on the joy, the expansion of the state of fullness that comes from the expansion due to the delight created by food and drink, through food and drink. And mahānandas tato bhavet, then one will become infinite bliss. One will become infinite bliss just through meditating on the joy, on the delight of eating and drinking. So here Abhinavagupta says one should not eat like with too much speed, but with delight, rasānanda, which means through chamatkara, through tasting, savoring, feeling. So it needs some time. You cannot, if you drink a good wine, you gulp it all at once. You can't. There is not enough time for the liquid to strike, as it were, all the points of sensitivity and to awaken it. So it requires some time and some culture, some education. So it's not just the quantity, it's rather the quality, of course. The commentary here, well, tries to quote from the Veda, because here it's not very orthodox. Awakening through eating and drinking. Na ānande datha vandeta viradravya paranaran. One should not despise the heroes who drink, those men who drink the drink of the heroes, so alcohol. Because drinking alcohol under Brahmanic law is a very great offense, punishable by death, like drinking boiled alcohol until one dies. So it's quite a serious topic. Anyway, the idea of the practice is very simple and clear. Next, 73. Om gitādiviṣayāsvādāsamasaukhyaikatātmanaḥ yoginas tanmayatvena tammayatvena manorūḍhes tadātmatā. So the yogi, yoginas, yoginaha, the yogi, atmanaha, whose self, ekata, is in a state of one-pointedness, asamasaukhya, on the unparalleled bliss, on the unique, on the extraordinary happiness, pleasure, on extraordinary pleasure, uncommon pleasure, asama, uncommon pleasure, asvada, in the delight, vishaya, of the objects, gitādi, created by singing, etc. So for the yogi who is taking delight in music, singing, instrumental music, etc., any type of music, tanmayatvena, because of being full of that, of that pleasure of listening to music, manorūḍhes, for the yogi whose attention is fully stopped, fully held captive, because of being filled by that musical pleasure, tadātmatā, he becomes that. So the idea again is very simple. One just gets absorbed fully into the bliss of listening to music. And the commentaries are quite clear. There is nothing special here. So when one meets relatives, friends, have a very good news, when one eats, drinks, listens to music, well, all those are occasions for awakening, expansion of the body and mind, expansion of consciousness. One plunges in that delight. It is as simple as that. There is no special technique here involved. It's just a matter, again, of attention and sensitivity, not eating and drinking just without any awareness, without any appreciation, being sahridaya, having literally having a heart, which means here being sensitive to taste, smells, savors, and music and sounds and vibrations and melodies and rhythm and atmospheres, all what the Indian aesthetics call rasa, the flavor, the emotional flavor of music, of song, of dance, of food, of drink, of wine, of also all the atmosphere generated by all those, like being with friends. And one can very well imagine a combination of what is told in those three verses all together, like a meeting with friends, to eat, to drink, to sing, friends that you have not seen for a long time. So all those joys, they are all expansion of consciousness, opening of awareness. Awareness is joy, basically. The awareness, the consciousness is being, is existence, and that is bliss. Just the fact of being, just the act of being, the arising into existence of both awareness and its contents. That is joy. That is what is called here ānanda. So, all that is very simple and clear. It's just a matter of attention. That here the yoginaha, is not someone who necessarily practices poses, postures, and complicated breathing techniques, or who has a special way of life, an ascetic way of life. It's rather someone who's relaxed and who knows the possibility of, who knows the potential of all those experiences. And you don't just drink and eat in order to compensate or to hide something else, but just with that openness of mind, that knowing that possibility, your attention is ready, is subtle, is refined, is open to what's given there. And so you plunge into that bliss. But that is yoga. That is yoga in the real sense, because yoga is defined as union of the individual soul with the divine soul. And the divine soul is just bliss, so unifying, becoming one with bliss is becoming one with the divine. So this is yoga, becoming one, yoga, union, yuktatma. So the wonder of it is the wonder of ordinary experience. And the difference between yoga and not yoga is just a matter of attention, of outlook. And what's given is always potentially yoga. So it's all a matter of recognition and attention. Those who are rich in attention, as Abhinav says. So thank you for listening. Have a good day and see you next time.